Here is hoping you had a fantastic long weekend. Good evening and thank you for joining us on yet another brand new week of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. As we always call upon you, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, press the like button and be sure to click on the bell icon to stay abreast with the latest in local and global news. The Independence Commemoration Weekend headlines the bulletin. Head of State Dr. Hage Geingob has called for patriotism as well as celebration of the country's greatness amongst Namibians in spite of the country's inherent flaws. He made this call during Namibia's 32nd Independence Day celebrations in Swakopmund on Monday.
If we were to list all our strides since our independence, we would be here until the evening. Therefore, it is understandable that our people want more because they have seen how far we have come and rightly believe that it is nation that can go further. Indeed, we can, and together we will. However, what is not understandable is the unreasonable assertion by some that the days of racist apartheid Southwest Africa were better than those of post-independent Namibia. How do you say as that? What's wrong with your mind? Apartheid days were better than today. The freedom we are enjoying like this, something is wrong. Also, it's incomprehensible and deplorable for some Namibians to claim that for the past 32 years, nothing has been achieved. Therefore, Namibians have now reason to celebrate independence. Such mindsets are not only unpatriotic, but insulting to those who made immense sacrifices in the quest for freedom. Our Independence Day is sacred and should be above our personal feelings and politics of the day. Patriotism, which is defined as love and defense of one's country, with all its inherent flaws and greatness, should inform the conduct of all Namibians. Let us learn from unwavering patriots such as Comrade Sam Nujoma, Comrade Victor Pohamba, veterans of liberation struggle, and many other patriotic Namibians.
President Dr. Hage Geingob has described the late Emmanuel Ngashitheko as a gallant son and hero of Namibia, whose final gift to the country will be his revolutionary ideas, actions, values, and principles. Our Irongo region-based journalist Isabel Bento compiled this report.
Geingob, in a speech read on his behalf at the funeral of the late Ngashitheko, who was laid to rest during a hero's funeral at Oshohorongo in the Irongo region on Saturday, said that from the onset, the late Ngashitheko demonstrated sound leadership skills and was elected to the SWAPO Executive Committee of the Windhoek branch and shortly thereafter to the SWAPO National Executive. Geingob added that Ngashitheko, during his entire life and until his last breath, believed in and toiled for the United Namibian House, in which all Namibians live together in unity, liberty, peace and prosperity. Ngashitheko died in Windhoek on the 5th of March at the age of 69.
Moving on to party politics. SWAPO Party Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa has called for the recruitment of more youthful members to the SWAPO Party Women's Council wing. Once more, Isabel Bento compiled this report.
Shaningwa, in her remarks at the opening of the SWAPO Party's Women's Council Central Committee meeting in Swakopmund on Sunday, said that the new leadership of the Women's Council should ensure that the recruitment of new members becomes a priority and is intensified. She noted it should entail being intentional in bringing young women on board to enable SWAPO Party's Women's Council to have a remarkable continuation, because without new recruitment of young women, the Women's Council will not be strong. Shaningwa also emphasized on service delivery as one of the tasks in which the wing needs to lead by example, as women are naturally caring and dutiful. Newly appointed SWAPO Party's Women's Council Secretary Francina Kahungu echoed Shaningwa's sentiments, adding that the future of the Women's Council is digitization. She also called on the wing to come up with targeted mentorship initiatives, noting that once young women have been identified and nurtured, the wing should help in challenging all talents towards the correct applications.
On to news from further afield. Rescue work continued earlier today after a passenger plane with 132 people aboard crashed in South China's Guangxi Zhuangsu Autonomous Region Monday afternoon. Let's get more details from Xinhua.
Over 2,000 people have been sent to the site as part of the rescue efforts. Since the site of the crash is located in a mountain forest, the search of the black box relies both on drones and rescue staff. Tung Tedong, a rescuer with a drone rescue center in Quanzhou, capital of South China's Guangdong province and also the destination of the plane, said at the site it is difficult to carry out rescue work as there are only a few paths leading to the site. At around 7:30 a.m. today, light rains fell over the rescue site. The local meteorological department focused that more rains would hit the area from today to Thursday, which might adversely affect the rescue efforts. The China Eastern Airlines Boeing 737 aircraft, which departed from Kunming, was bound for Quanzhou, crashed into a mountainous area near Mulang village in Tengxian country in the city of Huzhou at around 42 minutes to 3 a.m. on Monday, causing a mountain fire.
Kindly stand by for your top roundup. Primetime Bees brings you all things business and economics. In the segment tonight, President Dr. Hage Geingob has implored on the private sector to hold hands with the government to build Namibia's economy for the benefit of its people. Let's get more from this insert compiled by Isabel Bento.
Geingob noted that partnerships with the private sector is essential if government is to reach its full potential as a country. Therefore, the partnership with De Beers is excellent, as they have witnessed over the years. The president also called on the inclusion of all Namibians to benefit from the diamond industry and not just those hailing from where the diamonds are mined. Geingob was speaking on Friday during the commissioning of the MV Benguela Gem, one of Debmarine's diamond exploration vessels, which arrived at the Walvis Bay port. Benguela Gem, the largest diamond vessel in the world, is a 177-meter-long vessel with a capacity of 27,000 tons when fully loaded and has a 30-year design life. The 7 billion Namibian dollars vessel, which was built in Romania, was delivered 3 months ahead of schedule and was 17% under budget. Debmarine Chief Executive Officer Otto Shikongo at the same event highlighted that in some ways this achievement stands as an example to how much Namibia can achieve as a country. According to the Chief Executive Officer, the vessel has created 160 high-skilled jobs for Namibians, which will enable the production of 500,000 carats annually, translating to over 3 billion Namibian dollars. Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa reporting for Nampa News.
Now, Fitch Ratings earlier today slashed India's growth forecast for the next fiscal year to 8.5% from an estimate of 10.3% last December. Xinhua shares more insight.
The global rating agency has revised the gross domestic product growth forecast upwards for the current fiscal by 0.6 percentage points to 8.7%. Fitch said while revising up its inflation forecasts, however, they have lowered their growth forecast for finance year 2022 to 2023 to 8.5% on sharply higher energy prices. Fitch says inflation in the country could peak up to 7% in the third quarter this year, well above the Reserve Bank of India's upper tolerance limit of 6%. In its Global Economic Outlook March 2022, Fitch said post-COVID-19 pandemic recovery is being hit by a potentially huge global supply shock that will reduce growth and push up inflation. Last week, global ratings agencies Moody's slashed India's growth estimate for the current year to 9.1% from 9.5% earlier, saying high fuel and fertilizer import bills could limit the government's capital expenditure.
With the business and economics news, we've come to the end of the top news for this evening. Kindly stay tuned for the economics roundup and the weather forecast thereafter.
A very good evening and welcome to Sport Planet. I'm Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa. Para-athletics headlines the segment. Team Namibia added 8 more medals to their tally on day 2 of the South Africa Sport Association for the Physically Disabled Championships underway in Johannesburg, South Africa. Namibian athletes with disabilities raked in 14 medals on the opening day of the championships on Sunday, while Monday saw them win an additional 8 medals to bring their tally to 22 medals after 2 days of competition. 20 Namibian athletes are competing in the 60th edition of the championships at the Germiston Stadium, along with participating countries Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Sierra Leone, Cameroon and Botswana, as well as 9 South African provinces. On to NBA news. LeBron James scored 38 points and notched up another triple-double upon his return to Cleveland, leading the Los Angeles Lakers to a 131-120 win over the Cavaliers on Monday. Other than this season's All-Star game, it was Akron-born James' only home visit. Having played 11 seasons in 2 stints with the Cavs, he was warmly received as he added 10 rebounds and 12 assists to those 38 points. Russell Westbrook and DJ Augustine added 20 points each for the Lakers, who moved 3 games clear of the 10th placed San Antonio Spurs for the Western Conference play-in calculations. Meanwhile, the Cavs only just remain in 6th in the Eastern Conference at 41-31, 1 game clear of the Toronto Raptors in the first play-in spot. Your sports roundup is up next. With the Sport Planet segment, we've come to the end of Tuesday night's edition of Primetime News. Many thanks for joining us. Once more, another reminder that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest happenings locally and globally. Feel free to interact with us in the comment section. Catch us tomorrow for your midweek edition of Primetime News. From myself, Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa, and the entire production crew, it's good night.